play-by-play while I get this all set up? Huh? You do play-by-play while I get all this set up?
Play-by-play? I'll do it.
Oh, sure.
It's a lot of talking. You're looking a lot better than me. Right, so that you're playing South early. You're playing South early.
What's that?
Who are we playing?
This one.
This one.
You did a lot of research for this.
Yeah, I did. I watched your thing on Facebook. Wasn't that enough?
Will keep us off here until the second period at the earliest. I would, you gotta tell us what's going on here, man.
What's that?
You're watching the whole thing. You know more about what's going on than I am. Check. There you go, Sean. We're on YouTube. All right, we're doing YouTube Live here, folks. Thanks for joining in. As this right now is the only way to catch the game. Wilderness and Bismarck are underway. Glad to have you along here on YouTube. We'll get the Hockey TV feed streaming hopefully by the second period. Wilderness with control in the Bismarck zone. We've played 6 minutes here. No score. Wilderness have 3 shots on goal. 0-4 Bismarck so far in this contest. And the Bobcats are able to clear. Jonathan Morrison able to hustle it down in his own end. Feeds it for Nate Horn at the Bismarck blue line. He's able to get a stick on it, and it goes into the Bismarck zone. Wilderness going from right to left across your YouTube viewing screen. Here come the Bobcats, their first shot on goal, and there's a save by Caleb Johnson. And that's Jaden Price getting that shot. He's a newcomer to the Bobcats. Wilderness wearing their white with the green and red trim, green helmets, green pants. Here Jonathan Morrison gets a shot from the middle of the blue line, knocked aside by Andrew Miller. And a battle for the loose puck in the corner. Sean Krauser is here as well. I'll turn him up on the on my board, and we've had some continuous action here for several minutes.
Yeah, so far, when you're watching both the guys here, unfortunate goal. Nice shot, but that just got caught. That's all. But so far, good puck movement, good puck support, and fun game to watch so far.
And it looks like it's George Granis that gets the goal. He got a feed out in front and able to roof it top shelf to give Bismarck the early lead, just their second shot on goal of the game after the Wilderness had some good sustained pressure on the other end. Time of the goal, 7:05 of the opening period. And that is Granis, the Duluth native. And the assists Price with one of the assists, and the other credited to Hunter Olson. So it's 1-0 for Bismarck. We're in the first period. We've played 7.5 minutes. Wilderness off the faceoff, able to work it deep in the Bismarck zone. Clearing attempt by Willie Sauber is blocked. The puck comes free in the far corner. They play it along the wall. It's redirected to center. Batted to the near side, and a big hit by Blake Holmes on Grant Johnson, and he's hurt. Johnson holding his, looks like his left arm as he is slowly making his way back to the bench. And Blake Holmes laid a massive hit on him along the near wall. Johnson is now on the bench. The whole Johnson family is here as Grant is the brother of Caleb Johnson, as we get a shot here that is controlled by Caleb off the stick of Willie Stauber. So we get a whistle with 8 minutes and 12 seconds expired here in period 1, 1-0 Bismarck in front. We got a good crowd here with this being USG dollar ticket night. They even let Sean Krauser in the building.
They let anybody in tonight. It's good to see all the people out here. It's a lot of fun.
Off the draw, this is to the right of Caleb Johnson. It's played to the near corner, and it's swatted to the far wall. Going after it is Nate Adrian, and it's picked up by Morrison, and it's relayed into the zone, but quickly worked back the other way. This is sent just wide of the Wilderness net. From the corner, it's Jake Marty trying to throw it to the near side corner for Jopi, but that pass is picked off. Here come the Wilderness the other way. Nate Horn skates across the line. We get an offside.
Just a half a straight over.
That's all it takes sometimes.
Yep, it does.
Time of this with 11:18 left to play, opening period, and shots all even up at 3 apiece. Bismarck with the first lead of the hockey game. This is their second game in as many nights. They were in St. Cloud last night, got a 4-3 come from behind win over the St. Cloud Blizzard. Wilderness, this is their first game at home in the 2020 calendar year. Here's Worth trying to work it out in front, and it's picked off. This is Austin Jopi, Worth's former Duluth East Greyhound teammate, leading the rush in the Wilderness zone. He brings it to the corner, but then it's stripped away by Bram Shearer. Here come the Wilderness the other way. Passes a little too far for Dane Stoyanov. Puck back in the Bismarck zone, and this is Sam Martell through center. Off the boards, and it's dumped in by Jake Marty. Caleb Johnson able to work it to the near wall, played off the boards, and getting in front of the clearing attempt was Will Hillman. And we're going to have a penalty coming here as Hillman was knocked down. And so the Wilderness are going to be shorthanded. First penalty of the hockey game, and I believe was cross-checking.
It was. Puck was there, just gave him a little shove with his stick and knocked the player down, and unfortunately that is a penalty.
So a cross-checking minor on Bram Shearer puts the Bobcats on the power play. And the face-off along the near side in the Wilderness zone. They work it toward the corner, and it's picked up by Blake Holmes, and he's there to clear the zone. Bismarck's power play at 20%. That's the tops in the Central Division, 11th in the NHL. They've scored 29 times with the extra man this season out of 145 chances. Schlatic coughs up the puck in the Wilderness end, and it's quickly grabbed by Tyler Watkins, and he clears. Here come the Bobcats through center. They break into the Wilderness zone, and we get an offside as it was brought in by Will Hillman.
I can see why, Marty, it's so successful for those guys on the power play. Both times that they were bringing the puck up, they were rushing 4 men, and they had 1D back. So they're very aggressive in their power play.
Face-off just outside the Wilderness zone. 1:21 remaining in the Bobcat power play. 9:56 left, opening period. Bismarck wins the draw. This is Willie Stauber skating it in. He'll throw it over to the far corner. Bouncing puck taken by Jopi. He'll chip it toward the corner. Grant Johnson is there. He's back out on the ice. Seems to be okay. Here it's batted down by Nate Adrian, and he's able to clear. This is going to go just wide of the Bismarck net. They got to get the game on YouTube. YouTube feed. Go on Twitter, get the Here the Bobcats skate in. This is Johnson trying to work it out in front. Feeds it for Stauber to the near face-off circle. This is Rodna. He feeds it down low for Grant Johnson. He kicks it to a stick back to Rodna along the half wall. As the Bobcats look to cycle on this power play, they move it up top. Fish to the far side, and a quick drive went wide of the net. Off the stick of Willie Stauber. It comes back into the Bismarck end. Carl Fish will work from behind his own net. He is being watched by Aaron Myers. Myers got that game winner for the Wilderness in the last game they played last Saturday against Minot. Here comes Stauber breaking in the zone for Bismarck. Drops it for Rodna. Moves to the face-off circle. Shot went wide. Clearing attempt worked over to the far wall. Grabbed by Nate Horn. Here come the Wilderness as the penalty is about to expire. They move into the Bobcat end 2-on-2. Drop pass for Myers. A little off target, and it comes free to the near wall. Grabbed by Myers. Sends it up top for Johnson. Kimball Johnson out there. There's a shot. They score! Oh, that was from a tough angle along the far wall. Right above the extended goal line. Blake Holmes ties the game. Time of the goal, 11:36. About as tough a place you can take a shot.
Without being behind the goal line itself. That was an excellent shot. You know, where that really started from is a really nice breakout pass coming across the blue line. Saw the guys sitting in the corner wide open and took the shot. Excellent, excellent play. Wilderness are definitely on top of their game tonight. They're skating very well.
Right off the face-off, the Wilderness are able to send it deep in the Bismarck zone once again. From the near corner, Bismarck looks to break out, and they are able to drag it to center. Swat it off the stick of Conroy. Jack Conroy is another newcomer to this Bismarck team. That's Holmes with the goal. That's his 5th of the year. Here's another centering attempt as Conroy tried to get it out in front for Jake Marty. Wilderness able to break it up and right back the other way. Here's Nate Allard with a shot blocker save by Miller. From behind his own net, Jack Olson. That goes off a Conroy stick. Now Ryan Nelson able to pick it up. Chips it off the boards. It's swatted back the other way. Reaching in was Nelson to get it away from Conroy. Now Worth throws it over to the far side. Jonathan Morrison dumps it in. That caroms toward the Bismarck net. Grabbed by Martell. They feed it along the far side. Marty is able to slip it into the Wilderness zone. Morrison chasing after it. Sends it cross ice for Nelson. Stretch pass here for Watkins. Able to get a stick on it. Directs it into the Bismarck zone. They hustle after it in the corner. Worked behind the net for Shearer. And he quickly gets tied up by Martell. Shearer does get the centering pass away, but it's picked off. And here come the Bobcats the other way. This is Hunter Olson with a backhand try. Goes behind the net. Another drive. As coming up on the right side, bottom of the circle was Granis, but that is controlled by Caleb Johnson, and he hangs on. We're going to take a quick timeout. .5:20 remaining here in the first period as the puck is played behind the Wilderness net. 1-1 tie, Wilderness and the Bismarck Bobcats. Puck takes a funny bounce off a stanchion, but there it's grabbed by Kimball Johnson, and he clears. Going after it is Nate Horn in the Bismarck zone. Centers for Aaron Myers. Throws it out in front. Watkins sends it over the net. Huge scoring chance there as Watkins had himself in perfect position, but they couldn't quite get it in the direction he wanted.
Sometimes that'll happen, and but the thing is that they were patient with the puck, taking a look, and they had an excellent opportunity. They've had a lot of them. I mean, we're out shooting them 8-5, so we've had a lot of great opportunities, and very fast-paced first period. So,
face-off will come to Andrew Miller's right. As we're down to less than 5 to play here in the opening period, Blake Holmes and George Granis, the goal scorers in this game, as the Wilderness win the draw. Nelson feeds it toward the corner. Worth out in front. Shearer one-timer. That sails over the net and out of play. Shearer with 8 points in his last 5 games. Nice little run for him. He assisted on that game winner in the Minot contest last Saturday. And a little line shuffling here. We spoke with Coach Valancourt before the game and was talking about the return of a couple of key players that allowed Shearer to come down to this line. Nate Adrian on the unit that he was with last Saturday. That was with Nate Horn and Aaron Myers. Adrian on that line to start here tonight. Garrett Worth back in the lineup tonight after recovering from a concussion last week. Now Worth over to the right side to Watkins and a return pass, and he couldn't connect. Worth was right there on the doorstep. Now spinning along the far wall, Rodna. As he tries to work his way toward the net, feeds it for Marty, and a return pass. Worked off his stick, and it's played to the near wall. Chipped out of the zone by a Garrett Worth. Now moving in left side is Watkins. Skating in the circle. Gets around a man. Tries to throw it for Morrison moving out in front. But the pass is off target. Puck played off the near wall. Shearer fans on the dump in, and it comes back in the Bismarck end. Jopi gets a pass at the Wilderness blue line. Works his way out in front. Drops it for Price, but the play broken up. On the right side, here's Matteo Minotti. Feeds it for Shearer, and a shot right on. The save made, and Miller able to direct it into his glove, and Shearer broke his stick on that shot, so obviously not able to get what he wanted out of that. But they did get the rush, and they'll get the offensive zone draw.
Sometimes when you break a stick like that, the goalie reacts to something that isn't there, and it goes in. So
sometimes those funny things can work work their magic.
Yep. Stranger things have happened in the game of hockey.
Andrew Miller coming in with a 13-4-2 record on the season, 2.62 goals against average, .895 save percentage. Here's Sloth at neutral ice. Works it off the wall, goes right to Granis. He quickly chips it into the Wilderness zone. Hunter Olsen was hustling after it, but the long reach by Dane Stoyanov was able to send it to neutral ice. Here's Hanzawa off the boards. It comes free in the Bismarck end. Lewis Crosby able to gather it now from behind the net. Crosby tries to get a wraparound try. Now a shot from the slot is blocked, and it's whipped over to the far wall. Holmes deals it behind the net. Grabbed by Crosby, and he quickly gets tied up by Jack Olson, and here come the Bobcats the other way. Price to Olson, and he'll throw it deep in the Wilderness zone. It caroms toward the Wilderness net, swatted to the near side by Kimball Johnson, and he moves through center. It works its way around the boards, and it's picked up by Willie Sauber. Less than 3 to play, opening period, 1-1 tie, Wilderness and Bismarck Bobcats. Klein feeds it for Grant Johnson. Johnson cannot split the defense. Another Johnson stood him up. That was Kimball. No relation with those two. Here is Myers skating in. Over to Nate Adrian in the slot. The shot blocked. And it gets another try. And the save made by Miller. Dawson Klein had stopped him at first, but he kept working at it. Now from the corner, this is Conroy. We got 2:24 left to play, opening period, in a 1-1 tie. Stocko feeds it for Johnson. He breaks into the zone, throws it toward the front of the net. Stocko was awaiting it, but a nice play there by Caleb Johnson, able to break it up. Here it's sent deep in the Bismarck end. 2:05 left to play, opening period. Here is Gower. He skates in the Wilderness zone. Got to the face-off circle, but Blake Holmes was there to swat it away. And right back the other way are the Wilderness. This is Shearer. Breaks into the Bismarck zone, cuts toward the net. Centering pass to
Nice
Ryan Nelson, and he scores. The one-timer by Nelson makes it 2-1 Wilderness.
What a play. Taking a look, watching the guy coming down the slot, and just dishes it off to him. What a great play.
Whoa, Nelly, that was a nice one.
No pun intended, right?
Yeah. How about that? Nelly showing showing off his wrist shot. And Nelson with the goal, the assist to Shearer and Worth. And the Wilderness have their first lead of the night. Nelson is 4th of the season. They get the puck to the right point. Jack Olson fires one toward the net. That is controlled by Caleb Johnson. He hangs on. With 1:26 left in the opening period, and the Wilderness now up 2-1, giving this, I don't want to say capacity, but a pretty decent crowd something to cheer about.
Well, and they have every right to cheer. I mean, they're playing very well tonight.
They get the puck to the right point. Olson throws one toward the net, batted down by Myers. He's able to sweep it to center. But there it's picked up by Daniel Schladik. He's thrown against the boards. And from the corner, this is Kimball Johnson. Pitches it for Horn, and it goes to Myers. He moves through center and tosses it deep in the Bismarck zone. Swatted to the far corner where it's picked up by Will Hillman. Hillman is leading a few rookie statistical categories offensively this season. He's up there among the leaders. Here's a centering attempt for Dawson Klein. And it's whipped back toward the corner by Pyhowski. Here is Holmes, last 45 seconds of the first period. And Carl Fish chases this down in his own end. Getting it to center. He sends this one toward the Wilderness net. That took a funny hop right out in front there, but Caleb Johnson, who has some experience playing baseball, was ready for that one.
Well, he used his whole body to get in front of it. And a lot of coaches, that's exactly what they'll tell a goalie. Just get in front of it. That's all you got to do. Sometimes easier said than done.
Exactly. He'll watch this faceoff to his right. Johnson, 11-10-1 record on the season, 2.84 goals against average and a .909 save percentage. Stopped 35 of 38 in that win against Minot last Saturday. Here is Carl Fish. And this pass is intercepted. Moving in as Watkins drops it for Worth. Tries to get it to the slot, but Fish was there to strip him of the puck. 16 seconds remaining in the period. Puck goes into the Wilderness zone. Goes to Tyler Watkins, and he gets it back for Worth. He breaks across the Bismarck line. Throws a shot, went wide of the net. Now from behind the cage, Sloth tries a wraparound. Decides to take a shot, went off the side of the cage. And here the Bobcats are able to skate through center. There's the buzzer. And the first period comes to an end. Good action up and down, a lot of continuous play, but we saw the Bobcats get the first lead. Wilderness were able to come back.
You know what? Often as a coach, I used to sit and contemplate who really won the period. And it wasn't always the team that was ahead. It wasn't always the scoring of that particular period, but it was just the hustle, the heart that was put into it. You can really tell it. Sometimes the bounce just doesn't go your way. And in this particular case, the Wilderness definitely are playing a very good game tonight. They're working very hard. They seem to have a nice tempo, and they're in control.
10-8, your shots on goal through the first 20 minutes of play, and we'll take a timeout and hopefully get everything set up soon here with the Hockey TV stream. So stay tuned to that. We'll let you know when that is all up and ready to go here with this YouTube feed. That'll be coming up in a moment.
Well, I'm having a good time.
So ready there. All right, folks, we are moments away from being able to get the hockey TV stream back up as Aaron Myers gets a shot away, blocked by Miller. They continue pressure in the zone as it is Nate Horn with it in the corner, tries to skate out in front before it's jabbed off his stick and back out at neutral ice. Morrison slips it into the zone, then he takes a big hit. Puck comes free in the corner. George Granis grabs it for Bismarck. 2-1, Wilderness in front. We're in the second period here at Northwoods Credit Union Arena. Breaking into the zone as Granis gets a shot away. That goes off of Caleb Johnson's stick, and it goes out of play. 16:06 left, second, and the Wilderness continued with some good pressure in that period. We've already got 5 shots on goal from with the shots for the game thus far, 15-9, and 5-1 Wilderness lead here in the second.
Yeah, the quality shots have been definitely in the Wilderness' favor here throughout the game. So.
Battle for the loose puck in the corner. Allard going after it. It comes free behind the net. Nelson looks to move it along the wall. Finds Alec Coakley, who's able to clear. And it comes back in the Bismarck zone. Going after it is Dawson Klein, the former Minnesota Magician. And he works from behind his own net. Makes his way through center. Feeds it along the left side for Adam Stocko. Gets a shot away. That was blocked. As getting in front of it was Jonathan Morrison. Now a drive by Willie Stauber is blocked. Puck comes free. And Morrison got tripped up just as he approached the puck, but no call. Skating across is Grant Johnson. He feeds it for Klein. He'll move it to center. Knocked the other way by Morrison. Now it comes free along the near wall where it's taken by Klein. He finds Stocko ahead for Johnson. Morrison stepped in front of the pass. And now Worth leads the rush the other way. 3-on-2 for the Wilderness. Worth, far side, Watkins the shot. Oh, what a save by Miller. Miller was going from right to left, and he denies Tyler Watkins. Watkins, that's the second time that he's had a prime scoring chance that he couldn't convert. As Stocko takes the pass, and he flips it through center. Score remains 2-1 in favor of the Wilderness. Now Worth skates across. Weaves his way, high slot, far side for Shearer. Tried to feed it for Watkins on the doorstep, and they couldn't connect. Back loose at center, tapped ahead by Stoyanov. Goes to Willie Stauber. He's just going to dump it in. This should be icing, and it is. 14:27 left in the second, and it's a 2-1 lead for the Wilderness here at Northwoods Credit Union Arena on dollar ticket night. Boy, oh boy, what an opportunity we saw there from Watkins.
You know, it was a really nice pass from Worth, and I don't think he was anticipating it was going to get across. There was a lot of traffic there where the puck was. I think he was a little surprised. So, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's you take what you can get, and sometimes they just don't come your way.
Yep.
Face off to the left of Miller. This is Myers in on the draw, and he deals it to the point. Kimball Johnson holds the zone. It caroms toward the rear of the cage. This is Nate Horn with it. Feeds it out in front, and the pass too far for Adrian, and it's up along the wall. Here come the Bobcats. Will Hillman breaks across the line, gets a shot away right on, and Caleb Johnson able to make the save, his second save of the second period, and that will force a face-off in the Wilderness zone that will come to Johnson's left with 14:10 left to play here in period 2, and the Wilderness leading by a score of 2-1. We saw goals in that first period from George Granis, and it was Blake Holmes scoring from Bram Shearer and Garrett Worth. And Ryan Nelson got the go-ahead goal to put us in the position we're in now at the 2-1 score. Here comes, moving in with a shot there as stepping out in front was Rodna. And the big save made by Caleb Johnson. Here come the Wilderness the other way. This pass went off of Myers' stick, or rather his skate, and it's taken by Nate Clark. Former Jamestown Rebel able to move it off the near wall. It is sent into the Wilderness zone. There's a shot by Jopi from the slot that went wide. Sent behind the net. Jopi centers. Big save by Johnson as he denies Jacob Marty. What a chance there for the Bobcats and a huge save for Caleb Johnson. And we got an icing call. 13:20 left to play second period, and what a save by Johnson.
Well, now both teams are tied.
Yeah.
They've each had a goal denied by that goalie getting that pad out there and blocking it. Excellent play. Even better save, so we'll take it.
Face off to Johnson's left, and this will be taken by Nate Adrian for the Wilderness. In there is Piehowski for the Bobcats, and a shot went wide of the mark. On the near side, it's Myers able to flip it to center. It's taken by Piehowski, feeds it to his defense for Olsen. Back to Piehowski, skates through center, and puck is jabbed off of his stick, and it comes free in the corner. Swept along the wall for Minotti. And he coughed it up, but he's able to get it back, and he moves it through center. He's got Adrian with him. Moves it to Myers, skates across the line, but Adrian stepped across the line offside. You wonder why that the decision-making there for Minotti, why he just didn't give it to Adrian right next to him there, decided to go for Myers on the right side.
Yeah, so many times a player, when they straddle that blue line, they think that they're going to, they're trying to buy some time, and then they get too close to the puck, and they get a little nervous, and they step across.
Face-off just outside the Bobcat end. Bismarck controls the draw. Here's Hunter Olsen able to flip it into the Wilderness zone. And it comes free behind the net, chipped to the near side by Crosby. And it pops up in the air along the wall, and it lands out of play. And we'll see a face-off. This looks like they're going to bring this out of the zone with 12:40 left to play. Actually, we've got a penalty being called as well. This is going to be on Jonathan Morrison. And I did not...
couple minutes for roughing.
Yeah, I think that's... so a minor penalty on Morrison, rather. Will put the Bobcats back on the power play, their second power play of the night. So the face-off to the right of the netminder, Caleb Johnson. Bobcats 0 for 1 with the man advantage, and it's Marty in on the draw, tries to deal it for Fish. And there's a pile-up along the near wall as they try to work it free. It's taken away by Adrian, and he'll just clear the zone. Puck goes to the right of the Bobcat net, and it's picked up by Carl Fish. He'll feed it on the right side for Willie Stauber. Moves through center, fires this one wide of the Wilderness net. Scooped up along the wall. Jopi gets a shot away, steered aside by Johnson. Puck comes free over to the far wall, and this is Rodna. Up to Fish, back to Rodna along the far side boards. Stick handling toward the blue line. Lars Rodna to the bottom of the circle for Marty, back to Rodna. Here's Fish. Rodna, far side, native of Norway with the puck. Sauce pass over to Stauber, and a shot and a big save by Johnson, and he seems to be hurt. Slow getting up is Caleb Johnson. Wilderness got to get a stoppage here and see if they can tend to their netminder. Might have been awkward stretch there maybe for Caleb Johnson. Here come the Bobcats again. Jopi tries to get a shot away. Stoyanov got in front of it, redirected it wide. They're able to get on top of the puck, and they cleared the zone. 44 seconds remaining in the penalty. And Caleb Johnson still does not seem to be himself, still crouched over. Now he's straightening up as the puck is sent back in the Wilderness zone. This is going to be an icing on Bismarck with 31 seconds remaining in the power play, and that's a welcome whistle here. Jarrett Burns is heading out to see to what is going on with Caleb Johnson. The Wilderness have an emergency backup goaltender tonight. It is Michael Janke who was called up from Cooley region. They are in the process of bringing in a new goaltender, but he has not arrived on the scene as of yet. And so in the meantime, it's Caleb Johnson's job, unless there is an injury that pulls him out of the game.
Yeah, he looked like he had a lot of trouble getting up, and it looked like possibly a knee or an ankle. But I mean, it had nothing to do with the puck. I think he just went down awkwardly.
Went down in an awkward position.
Yeah, I really do think that, and I wouldn't be surprised. He's got to probably.
I don't know. Well,
I'd come out.
Yeah, it's Jarrett just gave him a big old pat on the right arm and making his way back to the bench, and Caleb's staying in net.
Okay.
Janke was in the process of loosening up to see if he could be brought into the game, but he is Going back to the bench, and the faceoff is going to be in the Bismarck zone. 31 seconds left, 11-10 remaining here in the second period. And it's a 2-1 lead in favor of the Wilderness. Bismarck still on the power play as it's sent behind the net. Myers takes the pass, deals it for Horn. And moving in is Martell. Myers tries to throw it behind the net where it's picked up by Granis. He curls back. Aggressive play there by Myers here on this penalty kill. Here the Bismarck Bobcats are able to break out. Here is Hillman, left side for Marty. Or rather, Martell puts on the brakes at the bottom of the circle, feeds it for Granis. One-timer by Stocko, and getting a piece of it was Johnson, and it comes free to the near side. Final seconds of the power play. Penalty is over. Morrison out of the box. He heads to the bench. Here's Will Hillman along the half wall. Gives it to Granis. Back to Gower. He'll play it along the boards, and it comes free over to the far side. Going after it is Conroy. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey, and it's Worth, and he had it swept off of his stick back for Caleb Johnson in the corner. Breaking out from the corner in his own end is Holmes. He gets it to Watkins. He deflects it into the Bobcat end. This is Dawson Klein. Deals it along the near side. Now Stoyanov is there to dump it in. Puck comes free behind the net. Dish to Klein. He finds Rodna. And a touch pass goes to Conroy. He moves in, puts on the brakes in the circle before it's jabbed off his stick by Sloth. And now Bram Shearer comes up with it. He moves through center, gets it for Watkins. Far side, Worth, and a shot. And a save made by Miller. Rebound by Sloth ends up going over the net to the far wall. Here's Worth at center. Worth has had a couple of chances tonight, as this is sent deep in the Bismarck zone, taken by Nate Clark. He finds Dawson Klein on the far wall, ahead for Conroy. And he dumps it into the Wilderness zone. This bounces free in the corner. Grabbed by Lars Rodna. Rodna had 5 points in the 2 games that these two teams played in Bismarck earlier this season. This is dumped into the Bismarck end by Alec Coakley. They jab it along the near wall. It comes out to neutral ice for Nelson. And he'll sky this one. He tried to get it into the corner and ended up going out of play. 8:56 left, second period, and it's a 2-1 lead for the Wilderness.
Yeah, so far what I'm seeing here in this period is that the Wilderness are doing really, really well with supporting each other, looking for open ice, and making those passes.
Off the face-off, this is Willie Stauber. He breaks in. We got an offside call. They had that face-off right at center ice, and it was Willie Stauber who skated in. We got our mid-period timeout. 8:52 left here in the second period, and it's a 2-1 lead in favor of the Wilderness. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, technically we're not supposed to. Why? I mean, if we're not on hockey TV, yeah, I guess we could, but... Face-off just outside of the Wilderness zone. We are down to 8:52 left here in the second period. 2-1 in favor of the Wilderness. They win this face-off. Morrison moves it for Ryan Nelson, and he skates through center, able to dump it in on the backhand, and it comes free in the near corner. This is Stauber. He wheels it behind the net. Jack Olson with it. And he coughs up the puck to Aller, gets a shot away right on. The save made by Miller. And that will force a face-off in the Bobcat end. 8:31 left to play. Second period.
No, that's a great example of when you're trying to do a breakout, you got to keep the puck along the boards. If you start throwing it out to what you think is there, problems happen. You get picked off.
Blind passes, you say, huh? They can be dangerous.
Can't do those.
Holmes throws it toward the corner, and they try to direct it behind the net. Comes free along the far wall. This is Hunter Olsen. And Price tap pass for Granis, and that's broken up. And now Aaron Myers will lead the rush back. Sweeps it off the far wall. Hustles after it in the corner with Olsen. Myers, the Bemidji State commit, trying to work it free. And also in there is Carl Fish, trying to reach around. I'm trying to see that. That's Nate Horn also in there for the Wilderness. We've got video up, folks, and audio. As the puck goes into the Wilderness zone, here's Blake Holmes. Tries to chip it off the wall. Play to the right side. Granis gets a shot away. Bouncing puck taken by Adrian. He steers it off the boards to neutral ice. Here's Fish. And he's able to dump it into the Wilderness zone. Here's Johnson with it. Behind his own net. Leaves it for Kimball Johnson. Johnson runs into traffic. And he gets it for Bram Shearer. Shearer skates out of his own end. Gets across the Bismarck blue line. High slot to the right side for Kimball Johnson. The pass too far. Now Martell will take it. On the right side, Gower ahead to Conroy. And he dumps it into the Wilderness zone. Caleb Johnson to the far side. Finds Garrett Worth. Worth looks for some space in his own zone. Sends it cross ice. And now Stoyanov back to Worth along the far side. Able to dump it in. It sweeps around the boards. Now it's played back for Worth. Throws one off the side of the cage. And here is Sloth. Trying to work his way around a man. That was Hillman. Now he gets it for Shearer out in front. Shot right on. The save by Miller. And the Bobcats are able to pick it up, and they break back out to neutral ice. To the Wilderness blue line. Watkins off the wall. Now Worth will dump it in. 6:24 left to play. Second period, 2-1. Wilderness leading. Okay. Oh, Nanati just had a huge try, and there's another shot. A save made. And Zawa celebrating like he has a goal. But they whistle it down, and it appears Miller was able to make another great save.
Well, you always have to advocate for yourself. I've said that time and again, and we had a great couple of opportunities there where we were trying to bury the puck, hold on to it, take it a look around, and see who's coming down. We had a lot of action out front of the net, and you just never know. You just never know. So you got to take your opportunities when you get that chance. So going to have a little bit of a face-off here to the left of the goaltender from Bismarck.
All right, we have video back up on Hockey TV for those of you that are tuning in on YouTube. You can get video and audio for the game on now. Here's Carl Fish winding up with a drive right on. The save made by Johnson. The puck caroms to the far wall. Here's Granis Tries to throw one toward the net. Jopi is there to sweep it along the boards, and it's back out at center ice. Fish sends it right side, and it's dumped in by Klein. Bouncing puck goes behind the Wilderness net. We've got a whistle and an icing call on the Bismarck Bobcats. 4:38 left to play. Second period, 2-1 lead in favor of the Wilderness. Here come the Bobcats through center. Jopi can't get through the defense. It's played to Shearer, and he can't control it. Now Granis will try to throw one toward the net. Batted aside to the far wall. Granis trying to shake off the back check, and now Rodna got a chance, and that was deflected to the near side. They get it to the Wilderness blue line. Here's Worth stepping across. There's Watkins with a shot knocked aside by Miller. And the Bobcats break out 3-on-2. Olsen over to Stockel. The shot and a save made by Johnson. Now Worth along the near wall. They get it into the zone. Batted out by Clark. It's back at neutral ice. Bobcats bring it back in. Here's Stockel with it. Down low to Granis. Centers for Olsen, but helping break up the play was Garrett Worth. From center ice, it's dumped in by Willie Stauber. This is Johnson. Cross ice, he goes for Blake Holmes. Holmes moves to center. He'll dump it in. This falls in the glove of Miller, and he hangs on. And I am getting confirmation that we are on. Thank you, Tim Horn. And the face-off to the right of Andrew Miller. Wilderness up 2-1. They've got a lead of 22-16 in shots on goal. That includes first period totals. As they win the draw, it goes to Sloth. They'll move it off the boards, and it takes a funny bounce. Mitch Allard was right there waiting for it, but he had to reach for it. And now here's Piahowski. He deals it for Klein, clears it to center, goes right to Stoyanov, and he'll angle it into the Bobcat end. Now Klein from behind his own net. Surveys as Alec Coakley awaits. He got his stick on it as the clearing attempt went airborne. And now moving in right side, this is Conroy out in front. This shot, and Piahowski got his stick tied up. Terrific defense by Dane Stoyanov. Now Sloth, right side, Rasmussen toe dragged and got a shot away. Then the goaltender got a piece of that. Here's Fish behind the net to Klein. Outlet pass disrupted by Sloth. The puck comes free near corner. This is Conroy, who just came to the Bobcats from the USHL. He was with Dubuque. And they clear it through center. This gets past Nate Clark. He hustles it down in his own end. Drops it for Willie Stauber, the former Duluth Marshall Hilltopper, through center. Goes off a Piahowski stick in the Wilderness zone. Jopi, Piahowski, shot right on. The save by Johnson. Johnson really been tested tonight. He seems to be okay, though, after that situation there. Still slow getting up is what you see. Yeah, but able to make a nice save there.
Yeah, definitely. And it's nice to see him out there. He's had a couple of tests since his injury, and he's doing really well. So
face off to his right, 2:11 left to play. Second period, 2-1, Wilderness in front. And in on this draw is Jacob Marty. And he sweeps it to the near wall. Kimball Johnson is there to sky it to center. Willie Stauber able to sail it into the Wilderness zone off the carom. This is Blake Holmes to the near side for Kimball Johnson. Nate Adrian moves it ahead and couldn't get it to Aaron Myers. Rodna was there to poke it back toward the corner. Here's Blake Holmes far side. Over to Nate Horn. And they're able to work it to center. Moving into the Bismarck zone here is Aaron Myers. Gets a centering pass there, but Nate Adrian was cut off by Nate Clark. Clark positioned his body between Adrian and the post. Here is Holmes to center, coughed it up to Austin Jopi. Jopi is able to throw it to the near wall. This is Jacob Marty to play it to the corner. Quite a battle there with Kimball Johnson and Austin Jopi going after that loose puck. Now Shakar Henzawa tries to move it along the wall. Feeds it for Blake Holmes. They skate through center. Finds Minotti across the Bismarck blue line. It goes to Myers. Back to Minotti. Bottom of the circle, but then he lost control of the puck. And Carl Fish is there to clear the zone. Final minute of play of the second period. 2-1. Wilderness leading the Bobcats. Scoreless second so far. Dawson Klein takes a hit behind the net. And it goes to Minotti. Minotti stick handling along the near wall. Left side, Sloth gets a shot blocked. The rebound, they score! Lewis Crosby was in perfect position. And he puts it past Miller. The Wilderness now have a 2-goal lead.
Nice play around the net. Very patient with the puck. Taking a look for the guy that's wide open and got the shot off. And nice goal. Really nice goal.
That's just good old-fashioned work there, and you got to really credit Minotti.
Yep.
The way he cycled that down there in the corner. And he found Sloth. He got the initial shot away, and right there was Crosby to get the rebound.
Yep.
Crosby gets the goal from Sloth and Minotti. Minotti picked up his first with the Wilderness last weekend against Minot. And here he gets a big assist to give the Wilderness a 2-goal lead late in the second. Still 31 seconds remaining, and the Bobcats are able to play it deep in the Wilderness zone. Bouncing puck comes free, far wall. On the far side boards, this is Will Hillman. He works his way toward the net. Then he's stripped of the puck by Shearer, and now Garrett Worth will skate through center. Wilderness break back in. Over to Shearer, drive, and they got the big save there by Miller. Miller had to stretch. Had to really stretch apart to get his foot on that shot to deny Shearer. And we get the net dislodged with 6.2 seconds remaining. That leads to the stoppage here.
In this period, Bismarck's goalie has definitely been tested. The score should be much, much higher than just 3 goals.
Well, he's already faced 7 more shots than he faced last night in their game against St. Cloud.
He's working hard tonight.
Still got another period left to go.
Yeah.
So he'll watch this draw, but the Wilderness, he did allow 3 goals in that game last night, and the Bobcats ended up coming back in that one as well. Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see what happens here tonight.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say as well. They did tack on 5 more seconds. So 11.1 seconds here left in the second. They work it around the wall. Hunter Olsen gets it to Granis, and we get an offside call as skating across was Will Hillman. As time down to 1.4 left here in the second period, and a 3-1 lead now for the Wilderness. And barring something really fluky here, they're going to skate off this period with a 2-goal lead. Got some interviews to play for you during the second intermission here. We'll also have assistant coach Brendan Phelps. There's the buzzer, and the second period is over. So a tight, kind of a little bit of a jousting match between these two for a good portion of that period. Both teams having some good scoring chances, but only one able to get past a netminder there in the final minute.
Yeah, I have to agree. It went back and forth. It wasn't quite as fast-paced as the first period, but I do have to give this period to the Wilderness, not because they got the lone goal, but they seem to be doing the little things that are really important to win the battles, win the games. You got one guy in there, and you got another guy that's following up that's supported him, and that's super important. And I anticipate in the third period we're going to see much of the same.
So the goals tonight: Blake Holmes with his 5th. You get Ryan Nelson with his 4th, and Lewis Crosby getting his 8th of the season. And that puts us in the position we're here at now with a 3-1 lead for the Wilderness. George Granis getting the lone goal for the Bobcats. And Granis, another Duluth native on this team, another one that went to Duluth Marshall with his 8th of the year. And we have Granis, we got Jopi, we got Stauber, and so a good contingent of local fans cheering on the Bobcats here tonight.
It's a great homecoming to come out and watch these players come out and see how they progressed from their high school days.
So we've got assistant coach Brendan Phelps on his way. We got the STP segment that we're going to have for you here, and that'll be just a moment. here on Hockey TV and Cat 7. And we'll, if I can borrow that headset from you here, Sean Krauser, and we'll get Brendan all set up. Coach, what do you think? Pretty good pace from these guys here tonight so far.
No, you know, it was really good pace. I really liked our first period, and then second period, I liked a lot of it, but I thought in the end of the period, we're playing the back and forth game, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'd rather us play good defense and then just focus on the defensive end and then go from there. But you know what? We pick up a big goal there, and it's something we've been stressing a lot recently is plays for our defensemen. Sloth and Stoyanov make a phenomenal play on our blue line, transitions the puck, and then we create a goal on the other end. So a couple good things we saw there.
Yeah, and it seemed like you had chances there. It could have been a much bigger advantage for you there with
should be 5-6-1, Marty. But I mean, they had a couple chances too. But no, I agree with you. I mean, it's been the story of us recently. But we like the 3-1 lead going in the third period. I'll tell you that much.
Well, the goal you saw from Lewis Crosby is one of those that you preach about is you get pucks to the net, and
yep.
He was right there to bang in that rebound.
Yeah, no, I'm just thrilled with the play on the back end there. Been stressing a lot. Okay, quick touches, put it into space, let the forward skate into it, set the forwards free. And I mean, Dane instead of whacking the puck, which Dane could have done with pressure on him, he makes a soft little touch play over to Slothy. Slothy gets around a guy, makes a nice backhand pass to the middle, takes a hit. It's beautiful. Good stuff.
You described that very nicely. You should maybe you got another future for you here in the broadcast side.
Marty, I got multiple skills.
Well, hey, maybe now the skill now is to make sure you can hang on to this lead because the Bobcats had a 3-1 deficit last night. They were able to come back, so you know that they can come back. You
know what? The big thing there was something I preach and talk a lot about is situational hockey plays. You know what? They could have got one there at the end of the second period, and that's what they did against St. Cloud last night to make it 3-2 going in the third. So now we need to concentrate on the first 2 minutes, get pucks deep, and the thing that they do well, right? They're not the biggest decor, but when they get the chance, and this is all teams really at this level and above, if you give D-men the puck and they don't have to transition to go get it, they're going to make a play. That's where offense starts. So, I mean, we have to get the puck below the defenseman where they have to open up and go get the puck. All right, so our forecheck can get in on them, create a hit, and now we're on offense instead of them coming the other way.
All right. Well, it's a tactic that we hope can work, and we can get things going here to get 2 points here.
I like it.
All
Just right. 1 period left here, Marty.
How was Caleb doing? He got a little shook up, it looks like, on one play.
Caleb's going to battle like he always does, so he's doing well.
All right. We'll take your word for it, man. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Marty.
Coach Brennan Phelps here during the second intermission. We're going to take a timeout. We're going to hear from both coaches. That was recorded before the game. We'll begin with the head coach of the Bismarck Bob, or rather, I'm sorry, it was the assistant coach that I talked to, Garrett Worth, before the game about what's been going on with their team as of late. And that'll begin things, and we'll follow that up with our interview with head coach John Valancourt of the Wilderness. So we'll get Mr. Roth's interview set up here first. So here we go, assistant coach of the Bismarck Bobcats, Garrett Worth.
Beginning of a busy week last night, 3 games in 3 days, but you kicked it off with a nice come from behind win in St. Cloud.
It was a nice victory for us. This is a big weekend, the top prospects tournament. The standings are frozen after this weekend, so we would like to claim that second spot so we can have as many players on our roster attend that event as possible. So it's a big weekend for us. Also, obviously, Aberdeen's been on a hot streak, so to try to stay with them in the standings, and obviously, you know, it's the top 5 teams that, you know, it seems year in and year out, you know, it's kind of a really tough division as far as, you know, that last spot not making the playoffs. And so, you know, every team is still in the race, and, you know, it's it was a big win last night to be able to, on the road, start the 3-game set off with a W.
Right. And you able to rally there after falling behind by a couple of goals. Nice testament there to the hard work of your kids.
We had a tough second period. Attention to detail was kind of lost on our guys. And, Carl Fish had a big goal with about a minute 40 left to get us within one. And that was a huge momentum boost for us going into the third period. And then we were able to get one within the first 4 minutes of the third period to tie it up. And kind of from there, we got our legs under us and started playing, our game and started playing with pace and really created, a lot of turnovers that we were able to finally capitalize. One with Jaden Price getting his first as a Bobcat.
All right. Yeah. And I see all these new guys that you got, and Jaden Price, Jack Conroy, and also picking up Nate Clark. And so just looks like all around kind of assessing forward and defense there.
Well, since the beginning of the season, I don't think we made an addition to our group since October. So we've had the same group, same 23 guys, pretty much all season. So it was a situation where obviously, we felt that there was a couple players out there that we could upgrade and add to our group to make us a little bit more deep and to kind of fill out some of the needs we felt our team was lacking in certain areas. And so Clark's a really steady defenseman, really good puck mover, defends extremely well. So he's going to jump in another veteran defenseman to add to the 6 other veterans. So, in playoffs, veteran teams tend to have success. And so it's nice to have our whole back end veteran players. And then Conroy, he's a veteran as well, hard working 200-foot player, high compete level. He's to bring him into our group, he can go anywhere from the first line all the way, through the lineup because he plays such a heavy, honest game. So to be able to acquire him from Odessa, we feel, at this time, if you can acquire an impact caliber guy, for the stretch run, it's definitely crucial. So, and then unexpectedly, Jaden Price became available. We were able to acquire him. We tendered him 2 years ago, the NAPHL, so we had familiarity with him. And when he became available, we were able to work out a deal with Salmon Arm to get him out here. And he was able to get his first goal last night, and he's starting to get his legs under him. So he's another player that we feel is definitely going to add another dimension to our lineup.
Very good. Grant Johnson seems to have maybe stepped up his game a little bit here this season. I know he was pretty solid for you guys a couple years ago, and got him back after a year in the USHL.
He was really good for a first-year rookie. 2 years ago, he had 40-some points, and last year was a little up and down for him. Obviously, at the end of the first season with us, he tore his ACL, so he had surgery. That was almost a 10-month to a year recovery time frame. So I'm not even sure last year he was comfortable on it. He finally has taken off the brace here towards the beginning of this season, and he's starting to look like the Grant Johnson of old as far as his comfortability, confidence with the puck, and his shiftiness. And so he's been a big addition to our team this year, and offensively he's really helped lead the way.
So and then looks like Kevin Miller is going to be the guy in goal for a bit here, as far as how you can see.
Andrew's going to be.
I'm sorry, Andrew Miller. Yeah.
No, that's okay. Andrew, is going to get to start again tonight. We brought in Ethan Lamont. We have Eulin, who's going to be out for a little period of time here. We're going to kind of see how long that situation lasts. But we were able to bring Ethan in to be here just in case. Obviously 3 games in 3 days is difficult for one goalie, and over the course of a season, you need a 2-goalie tandem to have success. So Miller's going to go tonight, and he's played really well for us. It was a 3-3 game in the third period, and he made a huge save on Bud Winter that ultimately won us the hockey game. So he has the ability to make big time saves, and he's a goalie that we've had a lot of confidence in, and he's done an excellent job this year for us.
All right, and then overall thoughts on what you got to do to win tonight?
We just need to compete. We need to play our game. We're a pretty aggressive team, a puck possession team. With a bigger sheet, we need to make sure that we utilize our speed and don't stay on the perimeter, because if we're going to be a perimeter team, we're going to have a tough time producing offense and secondary chances. So for us, we want to play with our speed. We want to engage physically. And I think if we can do that, we have good support coming through the neutral zone and the offensive zone. We like our chances as to at the end of the game, being right in the ballgame.
All right. Thanks a lot here. Good luck tonight.
Hey, thanks so much. Have a great one.
All right, there was the assistant coach for the Bismarck Bobcats, Garrett Roth, with the interview recorded before the game. Time now for interview recorded with the head coach of the Wilderness, John Valancourt, before the game. And again, apologies for the technical difficulties for the game here tonight as we get things rolling with the head coach of the Wilderness, John Valancourt. Kimball Johnson announcing his commitment to Mercyhurst. Your thoughts on him being able to go to the next level?
I think it's a really good commitment for him. It's obviously well earned. They took their time making the decision, and I think it was done the right way. They took their time to make sure it was the right decision. He took his time to make sure it was the right decision for him, of the schools that he was speaking to. So it's a good fit. I think that's an excellent coaching staff, excellent program for him to go to continue to develop his skill set and continue his education, obviously, in a great school.
I see a lot of skills that he has. What do you think it is that sets him apart from other defensemen?
Well, I think just his ability to be creative with the puck. He's got an offensive niche to him that we really, when we came in here, we were looking to find, and he did a nice job. I think he's developed that. He's kind of gone with what we were hoping with him to be able to do, and just find that niche. But that being said, his stick work is really good, and just his ability to move and make plays. It's a really hard thing to kind of teach defensemen, especially later on. I think he just has a natural instinct for it. And so I think that would translate for him or transfer over from really well into the college level.
And, very good. Now we can move on to what we saw from your team the last couple weekends. It seemed like there was some good competitive games there and a big boost of confidence to get that win last Saturday.
Yeah, I think we've been playing good hockey. Even our weekend against Aberdeen, we played really well. It's just we weren't finding the offense and we weren't scoring on opportunities. And, last Saturday, we finally started burying some pucks in when we had the opportunities. And usually games go the right way if you're able to score and you get those opportunities. But we're playing good hockey right now. The big thing is just making sure that we're just burying. We have opportunities and we're playing a 60-minute game. And I thought we did that. The first game against Minot was a very even game. They got a better of the opportunities. So it was just a matter of the mistakes. And the second game was an even game again. And then we just capitalized on our opportunities. So that's the team that we're going to have to be, as a team that works hard for 6 minutes to capitalize on opportunities.
Seems like the guys may have hit another level in that third period when they came out and launched that comeback.
Yeah, we had a pretty motivational speech going into that period. So that might have been part of it. But no, I think they just played hard as a unit, and we knew what we needed to do to be successful. We stayed to our structure, and we got rewarded for it.
Very good. You get Shakara back this weekend after